Hi, my name is Molly. I'm from the Casita Chattahoochee Valley Public Library, and today we are going to read a book called No More Cookies, and after the book we are going to do a chocolate experiment. Miss Beverly is going to do a chocolate experiment. And this book kind of relates to it because it's about cookies and there's chocolate and a lot of cookies. Also, this book relates to our theme, Imagine Your Story at the library, because this little girl has a very big imagination, so it goes really well with that theme. And it's no more cookies. No more cookies. I'm Florence, and this is Arnold. He is helping me decide which is my favorite cookie. Mom stares at the empty cookie tin. We didn't mean to eat all the cookies, I say. It just happened. Sorry. Mom says I'm a cookie monster and that I can have no more cookies for a week. I tell her that Arnold ate some too and that there's another package in the cupboard. She still says no more cookies. No cookies for a week? That's forever! Arnold and I pretend we're secret agents and think up plans to get cookies. Arnold says he's hungry and that the plans won't work. But he changes his mind when he hears my new idea. I find what he needs, what we need in the dress-up chest. All we want is a cookie, just one. I tell Mom I'm Florence the Tooth Fairy. I've had a busy night collecting teeth, and my fairy monkey and I need a cookie before we can fly home. Mom shakes her head. She says she can't give cookies to tooth fairies. Cookies are bad for teeth. Instead, she gives me an apple plus another for my fairy monkey. It's not fair. All we want is a cookie, just one. This time, we creep up behind Mom at the washing machine. I tell her I'm Florence, the wickedest witch in the world. If she doesn't give us a cookie, then my magic monkey will turn her into a frog. Mom laughs. She says she'd like to be a frog because frogs don't have to wash smelly clothes, so no cookies. It's not fair. All we want is a cookie, just one. The next cookie plan is Arnold's idea. It's a good one. I ride my bike from the back garden to the front door. Carefully, I lay Arnold and my bike on the path. Red paint shines on his fur. I tell Arnold to look sad as I knock on the door. Mom opens our door and says hello. I tell her I'm Florence, the nurse, and that I've found a monkey who's fallen off his bike. I say he's hurt and needs an emergency cookie. Mom groans. She says no cookies. Injured monkeys need medicine and bandages. It's not fair. All we want is a cookie, just one. Arnold can't think of another cookie plan. He just sits there in his bandages looking hungry. I hunt deep inside my dress-up chest and pull out a silver crown. Maybe I could be a queen and command Mom to give us cookies, but Arnold thinks not. Mom wouldn't like that very much. All we want is a cookie, just one. What can we do? Suddenly, I think of the best cookie plan in the world. I grab Arnold and give him a hug. We find Mom picking green beans in the garden. I say hello. I'm Florence, the famous chef. My monkey assistant knows how to make something much tastier than beans. Yummy cookies. Mom frowns. She says, no cookies, no, no, no. Arnold feels like crying. All we want is a cookie. Just one. I think Mom feels bad for being so mean to Arnold. She says we can make magic monkey bananas. We're master chefs. Mom's in charge of that hot water. Arnold and I stir the chocolate. Arnold pours on too many sprinkles. The bananas go in the freezer and we clean up. Mom tells me not to lick chocolate off Arnold's fur. At snack time, we don't ask for crummy cookies. All we want are Magic Monkey bananas. Just one for me, just one for Arnold, and 2 for Mom. And here is the recipe if you want to make this at home with a parent or guardian. It's a recipe for Magic Monkey bananas. Eat your Magic Monkey banana, yum! Magic Monkey bananas are great for sharing with your favorite people and monkeys too. The end. Now we're going to do a chocolate experiment with Miss Beverly. Hi everybody, my name is Beverly. I'm with the Chattahoochee County Public Library, and today I'm here to demonstrate a brief experiment on dissolving chocolate. And this experiment involves polar and nonpolar bonds in atoms. And what polar and nonpolar means is pretty simple. I'm just going to break it down real quick and get right to the experiment. Polar means an atom has a slight electrical charge on it, and nonpolar means it does not. And in chemistry, when we speak of things being polar and nonpolar, like is always going to dissolve like. Something polar will not dissolve something that's nonpolar. And just like something nonpolar is not going to dissolve something that's polar. So we need to talk about what we're going to use as our solvent, being what we're going to put in these dishes, and then what we're going to use as our solute, as in what's being dissolved. So in this case today we have 2 solvents. We have a polar solvent called water, and we have a nonpolar solvent called oil. Now this is olive oil, but you can use cooking oil, vegetable oil, corn oil, whatever you have in the house. And it doesn't take very much to see this demonstration. So our first solvent, we're going to just pour the oil in this first bowl on the left. And for our second solvent, the polar solvent, we're going to pour in this bowl on the right. Now our solutes in this experiment, both of these are nonpolar. Chocolate is oil-based. The chocolate itself is made of kind of a fatty, waxy matrix, and that is going to be nonpolar. Now the funny thing about chocolate is there is sugar and flavor particles in it, and they are very small, but it is what gives it its nice flavor. And those little tiny particles are polar. But again, the overwhelming majority of the particles in this chocolate is nonpolar, being as it's that fatty substance that you can see and feel. So we're going to unwrap both of these Hershey Kisses, and like I said, they are largely nonpolar, so we're going to consider them nonpolar solutes. A solute is the thing you are dissolving. Okay, so we're going to place one piece of chocolate in the oil, and that's our nonpolar solvent, and one piece of chocolate in our polar solvent, being the water. Now you set a timer or watch the clock and wait for 10 minutes, and we will come back and check the progress and see which one is dissolving the chocolate, the water or the oil. Alright, be back in 10 minutes. Hi, so it's me again, and this is the conclusion of the chocolate dissolving experiment. As you can see, the oil dissolved the chocolate. This was over a period of about an hour and a half, so it took a lot longer than 10 minutes to kind of see the dissolving process happen. But if you take a paper towel and pull the chocolate, you can see the chocolate still in the oil, and there's actually a piece broken off, and then it's still dissolving as you wipe it off. And this is the piece of chocolate in the water, and notice the water is still clear. It did not dissolve because, like we said earlier in the experiment, the majority of this piece of chocolate is nonpolar, whereas the water is polar.
But if you notice, see, I can put it on a paper towel and dab it, and it's just the water coming off, not chocolate. But there is a slight color change. If you see, there's a lighter brown where it was sitting in the water. And as you'll recall me saying at the beginning of the experiment when I was describing if chocolate was polar or non-polar, remember I said most of the piece of chocolate is that waxy, fatty kind of thing that you can feel, and that's what gives it its shape. That's all non-polar, but the sugar and the flavor particles in it are polar. And so those did react with the water, and that's what gave it just a little slight color change. And the fun thing is if you leave this out of water and let it sit at room temperature, it will change back to the same brown color. So now we know that, as it's stated in chemistry, that non-polar dissolves in non-polar solvents, and that the non-polar chocolate did not dissolve in the polar solvent, which is our water that's still clear here. So anyways, try this at home and give it a lot more time than 10 minutes, maybe an hour, and see for yourself. And thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
We are springing into summer learning at the Chattahoochee Valley Libraries, and the program you just attended is one of the ways you can earn completions. Just go to cvlga.org and look for Spring into Summer Learning. You can register yourself and your family online, and then start reading and attending our online events. That's all you have to do. We're giving away weekly gift certificates, and every completion you make enters you into a grand prize drawing for tablets, games, gifts, and more. Remember, you have to register to win. cvlga.org, and we'll see you online again real soon.